In this video, I will be going over how to configure Azure's conditional access. So in this case, I'll have user allow access to a specific app if their IP address is in a certain location and they can successfully authenticate. So more specifically, UserA is going to have access to the Microsoft Azure Portal if that user's IP address is within the United States and if they can successfully authenticate with the Microsoft Authenticator. So as with every video that I do have a document that you can access, and make sure to wait until the end of the video to see this document. I'll scroll through it later. And to get started, we'll make sure that we're logged into the Microsoft Azure Portal with an admin account. We'll click Azure Active Directory and open that up. We'll go to users, make sure that you have a user created. So in this case, I have my users imported part from my on-premise environment. If you haven't seen that, there's another video I've created previously. So this particular case, we're using UserA. This is not imported. I've created it here. So created UserA, and I've already enabled multi-factor authentication earlier. However, in this case, we don't need MFA. So we want to click that per user MFA right here, and that will open up a different tab, and make sure that multi-factor authentication status is going to be disabled for the users or the user that you're going to want to apply the conditional access policy on. So as you can see, user A is already disabled. We'll exit this tab, and then we'll go back to the Azure Active Directory, and we'll also need to disable the default security settings. So to do that, we'll click Properties, and you might already have this in your environment disabled, but I will show you how to do that in case you don't. Manage security defaults in the middle here, and then on the right side you'll have a security default section, and beneath that it should be enabled by default, but we want to change that to disabled. Save it, and now we can start configuring our conditional access. That's located underneath the security setting on the left side. So click security, and that brings you to the security page. And the first thing we need to do is create a named location. As I had mentioned in the beginning of this video, we're going to need a user A inside of a United States IP address in order to access this application. So we'll click countries location at the top, name this United States or USA for short, look for United States, and this is a pre-configured list of the IP addresses within the United States zone. So let's click create. Takes a few seconds for that to change to creation has succeeded. On the left side beneath the protect section, if you can see it here, we'll click conditional access and create new policy at the top. Type in example policy. Select this link underneath users, select users and groups, and we're going to choose user A. Select. And as I mentioned, we're going to have that user access a specific application, which is Microsoft Azure. So here it's called Microsoft Azure Management, so we'll click select. And the conditions are that they have to reside within the United States. So we'll click selected locations underneath configure, make sure that's enabled. Select USA, this is the named IP location we created earlier. Click select. And beneath the grant section, we'll click that link and make sure to grant access, but also check the required multi-factor authentication. Click select. Enable policy section, we'll turn that on. Click create and give it a few seconds, and that will show as successfully created. So on a different tab, we're going to go ahead and, or in an incognito tab, let's log back into the Azure Portal and attempt to log in with that user that we've applied the conditional access on. So in my case, user A, Vigil at Vigil Tower, .onmicrosoft.com. Click next, enter the password. And because I'm in the United States, and if I successfully authenticate here, I should be able to log in. So give me a second while I put that into my application. And there we go. We're logged in. And that's how you configure conditional access for Microsoft Azure. So as you can see, my user is now logged in. I'm in the United States and I was able to log in with MFA. All right, and as I had mentioned, I will show you this now. So this is the document. If you're interested in having this document, be sure to click on the link below. Thanks, everyone.